If you've ever tried to cross an international border without a passport,
And who hasn't, right?
you might have noticed they don't usually take kindly to it. But is the experience any different if the country you're trying to enter is considered one of the friendliest in the world? Well, I happened to unintentionally find that out. Let me tell you how it went down. I'm currently driving up to Buffalo, New York, where my sister lives. Buffalo also happens to share a border with Canada. About 3 years ago, when she first moved up there, I went to help out with the move and stayed for about a month. One night, somewhere around 8 or 9 p.m., she was going to bed, and I offered to do a grocery run for her, since she had to be back at the hospital early and there were some things she needed. I grabbed her car keys, my wallet, phone, and left. That's it. I was basically in my pajamas. This was supposed to be a quick trip to the store, and I fully expected to be back in like 15 minutes. I did a quick search on my phone to see what grocery stores were open at that time. It sent me to a grocery store in the Lakeview neighborhood of the city. As an aside, please note the proximity of this part of the city to the Canadian border, as it will be a very important part of the story. My sister lives in the First Ward area, so the GPS directed me to take Interstate 190, which connects Buffalo with Canada, and to get off at exit 8 right here. But I was on the phone. No, not texting or checking social media. I'm not a monster. The phone was connected to the car by Bluetooth, and I was on a phone call. So I missed the exit. Just a quick show of hands. How many of you, when you miss an exit, simply take the next exit and turn back around? Exactly. So that's what I did. I took exit 9. Well, you can't simply turn around and exit 9. Before I knew it, I was headed straight for the Peace Bridge, which is the actual border with Canada. Some trepidation occurred. But then I saw the duty-free shop. Yes, this is where answers can be found. I parked the car and went in. I resisted the urge to buy large quantities of cigarettes, perfume, and alcohol, and found a salesperson. Conversation with something like this.
I took the wrong exit off of 190 and ended up here. How do I turn around and go back to Buffalo?
Ugh, another idiot.
He didn't say that, but I don't know, maybe he thought it.
Well, you can turn back around here, but go across the bridge to the Canadian border.
Tell them you made a mistake and took the wrong exit, and they'll let you turn back around. It's pretty simple. Happens all the time.
Works for me.
I said famous last words. I got back in my car and drove across the bridge. When I finally got to the border agent in lane 7 right here, naturally, he asked for my passport. As I started to explain my situation and that I didn't have my passport on me because it was never my intention to come to Canada, he didn't seem very amused. He told me to drive up a few meters, this was already Canada after all, and park my car in spot 10, somewhere around here. I was to wait in that spot until someone came to talk to me. But there was a problem. As I pulled up to spot 10, there was already a car occupying that space. Not knowing what to do, I stopped the car and froze. Then I heard yelling coming from the same border agent. For whatever reason, probably just my nervousness, what he was trying to say was mostly unintelligible to me. So I stuck my head out the window and saw him making a circular motion with his arm. And I swear I heard him say the word around. Now, to this day, I still don't know what he was actually trying to say. But in that moment, my poor jumpy little brain thought he was telling me to drive around the building so I could park on this side. So I tried to do just that. Bad call. I barely started to move when all of a sudden alarms went off, police lights started flashing, and 4 people looking like Canadian Special Forces in tactical uniforms jumped out of nowhere and surrounded my vehicle.
Stop the car!
One of them screamed at me as he positioned himself mere inches from the hood. I slammed on the brakes, my heart wanting to jump out of my throat. Another one opened my door and said,
Get out! Let me see your hands!
As I got out of the car, the questioning started. The 4 Canadian commandos now surrounding me.
What are you trying to do? Why are you trying to enter Canada?
I'm not, I responded, and then tried to explain the situation. They also didn't seem very amused. They emptied my pockets, and one of them escorted me to what can only be described as a glass box. And then the waiting began as they started painstakingly going through every inch of my car. Periodically, one of the agents would come and check on me and ask the same question about why I wanted to come into Canada. I guess they wanted to make sure my story didn't change. Eventually, after their car search, unsurprisingly came up empty, and I guess it was clear I was sticking to my story. They allowed me to come out of the glass box and locked me inside the building, right here. Once there, I was brought before a Canadian immigration officer. He proceeded to explain the situation. Turns out they really thought I was trying to make a run for it, that I was actually trying to cross the border illegally, hence what to me seemed like an overreaction. And now, because of it, things were slightly more complicated. They couldn't allow me to just leave because now I was officially in Canada. And because of the manner in which I came to be in Canada, i.e. without a passport and what they consider to be a forceful entry, I was technically being considered a refugee seeking asylum. What? Hilarious and a bit scary at the time. By the way, this was my very first time in Canada. I had never been to Canada before. Anyway, in order for them to let me leave Canada, I had to sign a form officially withdrawing my application for asylum and agreeing to leave Canada without delay, which I did, of course. I innocently went out for groceries and ended up as a refugee in another country. Ever since that day, I never drive in Buffalo without my passport. Oh, wait, did I bring it?